Tuesday, and we're on ERN, everybody. It's IndyCar night on iRacing. Hello again, I am Gary Gonzo. Welcome to P1 Broadcasting coverage of Round 3 of Season 3 of 2024 of the IndyCar Oval Series Tuesday night top split on ERN, coming to you from Iowa Speedway. As always, the group of fellas joining me in the booth for expert analysis. We have Stephen Larkamp here, who will... hello. And we also got Justin Petschauer, who will not telling us about NHL news. Will also probably tell us about upcoming IIS races. And also we got LGN in here with us. And he'll be helping us check out what's going on in the pits if there's any early retirement. So welcome, everybody. Hey, guys, we had a bit of a confusing race last week. For the first time I could think of since we started these broadcasts back in 2022, a ringer won. It's this week, I think it's kind of back to the norm. It's our first short track of the season, but it's a track we are no stranger to. It's Iowa, blindingly fast, bumpy. The last time we were here, the race was full of questionable on-track decisions. From what you've seen and heard so far, especially after last night's race, have any lessons been learned, or will it be the same old here tonight?
Well, considering what I'm looking at right now in qualifying, with a bunch of guys getting a bit too close for the wall for my taste, it seems like these guys are really cutting it on the ragged edge tonight. And Iowa Speedway, you're going to have to do that for raw pace, but this has definitely been a track of tire management, especially in the daytime like we see here tonight. This is going to be a track that's hard on tires, hard on the drivers, and hard on their thought process, I guess you could say, because there's the natural instinct to run the car as hard as you possibly can. You're gonna have to restrain yourself a good bit, but someone is gonna be taking advantage of that for certain. And Iowa Speedway here for 110 laps of the smallest track we see on the IndyCar calendar in real life at just about 9/10 of a mile. This is gonna be one of those races where the smart drivers may not be the most apparent ones right now and at the start of the race, but up at the front of the field, we have some very familiar and very smart drivers in their own right. Hamilton Akabuze, Robert Malechka, a couple of very familiar faces we've seen quite a lot on the broadcast, of course, and let's see if anyone else has any answers for them.
Now, we are already getting ready to go racing. We're gridding up here right now. We just had to kick trading paints one more time to load in these liveries. Yeah. But let's get into this thing. Starting lineup already. Bring it, Stephen Larkamp.
And on the pole, Hamilton Akabuze, very fast tonight in the number 3. The only driver to run in the 1:17.3 range. Very, very quick stuff. And from a driver who we naturally expect to be quick. Alongside him, the king of the series thus far, and King Robert III, RM3. Robert Malechka III will be starting the number 1 car in second. Tony Pizarro will be starting third in the number 10 machine. He'll be alongside our old friend Brandon Trost, who had a good run going for him in Vegas and Michigan, but was thwarted both times. Mark Murphy will be starting off fifth, our old friend of the show, of course, in the number 6. He'll be alongside Mitch David in the 24. Jacob Oster, very strange to see him not towards the front of the field there in the number 4. He'll start 7th, but I know he's got some tricks up his sleeve. Alongside him, another old friend of ours and another very fast driver, again had a good run last time, Kyle Clemworth in the number 8, starting 8th. Jacob Collins in the 18 machine is going to start 9th alongside Trace Shadid in the number 5. That is your top 10. Matthew Pontos, number 11, in 11th spot in number 22. He'll be alongside Dustin Cares in the 16. Adriano Pinheiro, a name who I would not expect to see down that far down the order. Let's see what our old Brazilian friend and former series champion can pull. Alongside the 9 of Ty Quilla, has been fast for quite a while. Just hasn't had the best of luck in a lot of circumstances, and hopefully that trend doesn't continue today for him. Tiago Benedetti in the 15 machine will start 15th, alongside the 12 of Brian Campbell in 16th. 17th is going to be Stephen Lee in the 19, alongside Masato Shimizu in 18th place in the 25. Adriano Fraporti, a rough run for another fast driver, will start 19th in the number 7, alongside Rodrigo Franzoni in 20th place in the 23. Wes Weedman will start 21st in the number 11 car alongside Rafael Eckert, another driver who I didn't expect to see that far down the order, in 22nd place. Jaden Munoz in the 21st spot in the 23rd spot in the number 21, alongside our old friend of the show, Antonio Estrada. And judging by that time, I think he definitely was taking it easy on that one. And the final row of the grid, 2 drivers that didn't qualify. Bruno Romanzini, who actually had a win last night in the highest split race last night, alongside Vito Sousa in 26th place in the number 20. We have one more pace lap before we send around for 110 laps of Iowa Speedway. And yes, given that we are in Iowa, we are in the literal middle of a cornfield, speaking from experience, having been at this track in real life.
And it's like you said in the pre-race show there, Stevie, tires is going to be the key. You have to manage them, especially with this hot track temperature.
Indeed so. That's always been the case here at Iowa in the daytime. 103-degree track temp. Even with that, it's not the highest I've ever seen here at Iowa, but it's still a temperature that these guys have got to be concerned about. But let's see who keeps their head cool and who throws that whole idea of tire management out the window. Pace car peels off. Akabuze in control. Green flag flies. We are underway in Iowa.
Down into turn number 1, they go side by side for a couple of rows there, especially in the back there. A couple of cars already backing out. It looks like, I think they got caught out by dirty air, or they're trying to play it smart because they know what is possibly going to happen here, especially when you're running all 3 groups here, the bottom line, the middle, and the high line. You can get away with running the high line as they go through 1, 2, as well as 3 and 4, but you also have to remember, oh, that was close there. You also have to remember in 1 and 2, the bump over the tunnel, especially on the bottom line. You hit that bump the wrong way, you're possibly going to go around and cause a major collision.
And using that high line to good effect is Brandon Trost, who's gained 2 spots already up into 2nd place and harrowing the leader now, Hamilton Akabuze. What a run for the 13. He was bad fast last time out in Las Vegas and was, I guess you could say, snubbed in one regard of a possible win. And now that 13 has taken the lead in only 4 laps.
Purple lap that time by 179 is the purple lap. He finished 2nd in last night's top split.
Close there, nearly contact. Very close stuff, but Trost hangs on to the lead. Akabuze wanted that spot back. It's so hard, though, to get that pass to work on the low side unless you got a monster run on them. But Hamilton running down on that low line still, and I think the main thing there is could well be tire management. He doesn't want to be in the dirty air of the 13 of Trost.
So is anyone going to say anything about Robert Malechka's new livery? Or are we just going to not say anything?
I actually noticed that earlier. It is a nice looking paint scheme on the number 1 car tonight. Different from what we usually see of him, but still, that's definitely one that'll stick around. And I think it's private label.
That's a private label Team Hype livery right there, isn't it?
It is private label Team Hype. So we have the newest member of one of the IndyCar Series' biggest super teams, and they've gotten themselves basically the equivalent of getting Scott Dixon to sign with you, pretty much.
Hyperslide, is that the name of is that the kind of the team now, or what they're calling it, Hyperslide?
Oh boy, it's like if somehow you got Chip Ganassi and Roger Penske to work together. But Malechka still coasting along in 3rd place, and knowing Robert, he's usually pretty tame at this stage of the race. We got a long way ahead of him, only about to be 10 laps in the going here, but looking behind, one of the i5G cars and teammates Akabuze, Jacob Alster, trying to put the pressure on Murphy, but he's going to lose out to Clendy, Kyle Clemworth on that low side in this battle for 6th, 7th, and 8th.
Thought Oster was about to get wiped out by Clendy. They were going through 1 and 2 because Clendy was starting to wash up, as you can see here. Oh, he gets a little bit
one of the 3.
Yeah. Let's see who.
Caution. Who is it? Is Ponto? Ponto.
Yes.
Who is in a Ari Leindyke throwback.
That is a destroyed rear wing on the 22 machine. Matthew Ponto started 11th, but that is all gone downhill from here on lap 11, and he has reset the car.
Did he have some help? And he might have had some netcode help from one of the leaner energy cars, which would have been Rafi Eckert. And let's watch. Let's watch this here. Ponto's in that livery. I believe Ari Leyendijk drove that in the, at least I remember, in the 86 Indy 500.
Yes, he did.
All right. We are on a roll here. We're still able to recall stuff.
Good stuff.
And we're watching this lap. Memory. We'll see if any takers to pit road. It's still awfully early for that. But we'll check right here. Going into turn 1, Rafi is down in the clean air. There was really no one in front of him directly in that lap, so he has a pretty good exit on turn 2 exit. Good speed. He's going to take a look now to the inside of Ponto. Ponto kind of goes to the same place that Rafi was going and gets the little bit of a netcode punterino. So, unfortunately, quick day for Matthew Ponto.
And it looks like the only 2 takers coming on the pit road are Antonio Estrada and Masato Shimizu, both coming in the top off the tanks. Doesn't even look like they took tires, and I wouldn't blame them this early in the going. Fuel mileage wise, we're kind of expecting around 60 to 70 laps thereabouts on fuel here. So these guys on lap 13, like, we're nowhere near the fuel window to get to the end on green flag laps.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah.
Yeah, this is just insurance for these 2, and they were towards the back anyway, so
might as well.
Not a bad call there.
Might as well. All right, well, let's get some business taken care of. Actually, if you found the broadcast, you're in the right spot. Thanks for joining us, everybody. We have made the move from Race First over to ERN for the remainder of the IndyCar Oval Series season of season 3 of 2024, and then when season 4 2024 starts up, we'll be on the new channel by then. But you see our new name, it's P1 Broadcasting, but all the action and all the subscriptions and all the likes and everything, we want you to give the ERN. So if you're enjoying the coverage, give them a big solid, because they didn't have to do this for us. They didn't have to host this at all. They didn't have to be, they could have told me to take a hike if they wanted to. They could still do that, but they really could use your likes and your subscriptions. So make sure to like this broadcast and make sure to subscribe to their channel. And also to learn more about their IndyCar series, of which I will be on the call for starting August 1st. It's their Warrior for Peace IndyCar series. It starts it's going to Thursday, August 1st. You can join their Discord server and find out more about that series and sign up for it if you wish. So if you like this type of IndyCar action, fixed setup type of races, you'll want to join the Warriors for Peace IndyCar series, part of the Elite Racing League, and it'll be broadcasted here on ERN with myself as one of the co-commentators. Getting ready to go back to green, fellas. Still a little early, going to lap 16. I wonder how these tires are going to do with the heat cycle underneath them.
Yeah, that's always going to be something to keep an eye out for, and I'm sure a good number of these guys have gotten a bit of practice on that. But of course, it is a bit different once they've gotten the chance to cool off a little bit. You give them a little bit more time to work with here. But Brandon Trost has made hay and has gotten the lead at the moment. Got his foot down. Green flag flies again. Lap 16 this time around. Akabuze, what can he pull here?
Well, Trost immediately goes to the bottom on the restart, trying to break the draft right away.
Yeah, exactly. And looking a little bit further back here, Murphy and Oster fighting it out for 6th, and Oster breezes by him on that high line there, up into 6th position. But everyone else starting to get themselves into some semblance of order here, as Tony Pizarro starting to come under pressure from Mitch David. This is for 4th place.
Yeah, it looks like Mark Murphy is having a little bit of issues. He's glitching in and out.
Uh-oh.
Yep, as Clendy just reported over the radio, Murphy was blinking in and out a bit, and he was. I don't know if we caught that on the broadcast, but that's usually the connection.
Might have storms in northern Indiana, and we double check that here as we continue with the action on the racetrack.
But for now, Mark Murphy is holding his own up on that mid-high line is what I would call it.
Yeah, exactly. It can be kind of deceptive, the lines that they run here. Like, it's high, and then you got like moderate high, middle, and then low. And the low line here, it's rather easy to go all the way up to the high line on exit. And hopefully in that case, you either back out of it or there's not a car next to you.
Well, these lines are pretty accurate. I mean, they're the dotted lines. As said, there's really only 3-4 lines around this racetrack, and they're accurately marked up there. If you want to go four high, you're right up next to the wall. But you can go 4 wide here, but it's not very easy.
Yeah, not easy, but could be worth it if you could pull it off there. But I'm looking at this battle for second place as Trost has opened up about a 4/10 gap. We look at Robert Malechka and Tony Pizarro starting to claw their way up to the back of Acapulco. This is for second spot.
You know, normally we haven't seen this very lately with a lot of the I5Gs, the Hyperslide guys or whatever. We'll call it out just a section. But they have been starting in the back a lot recently, and this is the first race in a while where they've actually started up front.
Yeah, and honestly, this is not really a track where even if you're confident that you have the fastest car underneath you, I probably would not sandbag and start from the back here if you know you're quick. Because track position here is absolutely crucial. It's one of those key things, along with tire management, that will get you a good result here. If you start from the back, you're going to have a much harder time than you will at, say, a place like Michigan or Las Vegas, like we have the last couple of weeks.
Or maybe next week, doubleheader meme race week. Talladega, IndyCar is there. It's going to be a fun one. Oh, yeah, doubleheader here on ERN.
This is going to be fun.
I'll use another example in terms of tracks where track position is monumental. Montreal, Mid-Ohio, where we're going to be in the next few weeks for the IAS, and there's at least a few. Milwaukee, that's another one as well.
Oh, look at Pizarro now trying to go to the low side on Malechka. Malechka, though, up on that high line, holds on to it with good momentum, but Pizarro is definitely sticking around in this fight here. Malechka and Acapulco have definitely got to contend with him, and possibly even Brandon Trost down the line. And Pizarro is doing a very good job so far tonight.
Now, I am going to make a bold prediction, though, in terms of the hybrid unit coming to iRacing. I say probably the September build is when we get it.
Okay. Probably a good estimate there because, of course, with the IndyCar Series running the hybrid power plants for the first time at Mid-Ohio in a couple of weeks' time.
Yeah.
This is that's going to be valuable time for iRacing to get data. As I'm looking at Adrian Pinero get squeamish off of turn number 4, and his fight there. He's now in 10th place, up 3 spots. He's got around Trey Shadid. Shadid tried to cut back on him after that little squeam off of 4, not quite enough. And now Pinero sets his sight on Jacob Collins in the 18.
And Jacob in the plain white wrapper.
There was also another one that got a little bit squirrely going through 1 and 2. That was the number 24 of Mitch David. He got a little too close to the wall, had to back out of it, got caught up in dirty air, and he lost just 1 position, not 2.
Oh, yeah. And it's so easy for that to be costly, cost you track position here at Iowa Speedway.
I was about to say, look at Quendy. He had a huge run off of 4 and shot past Mark Murphy.
And there's Pinero. Pinero on the bottom side of Jacob there, and he's going to pull. Well, now you just about had it, but that high line has a lot of momentum to it. But let's see how long that Jacob can keep him at bay down low.
Yeah, Collins running way up on that high line there. Pinero is likely going to have a better run here than he did through 3 and 4. Not quite enough this time, but and the thing I've got to be a bit wary of here if I'm in Pinero's position, not only is Trey Shadid there.
Trey Shadid is going to get the position.
Be wary of. Yeah, but also that low line there in this fight. This, if you push it too hard, this will hurt your tires later on in the going, and that is going to cost you track position aplenty.
Yeah, he slots back in there, gets back on the high line to try to save those tires a little bit, but he is now right in front of Dustin Cares, who I believe this is making his first start in the series, or the top split. Welcome to the split. Good to see you. He is currently 12th in the order.
Good start for Dustin Cares, and I'm looking back at this lead battle. This top four pulling away from 5th place Jacob Ulster, and they are well and truly bunched, and they're fighting it out amongst each other. Pizarro trying to get a nose in on Malechka. Malechka trying to get a run on Akabuze. Brandon Trost a bit comfortable, but I wouldn't get too comfortable there, Brandon.
Yeah, it's ironic. These two groups of 4 cars, even though they're split, they're throwing haymakers at each other. And who says we don't like throwing haymakers? Oh, that was close to the bottom.
It's Glendy tried to send one on Jacob Ulster there for 5th place. It didn't work out there on that low line, and now he's got to worry a bit about Mitch David behind him. But as you said, Justin, they are definitely throwing haymakers.
Now Mark's lost a couple positions. Murph has lost a couple positions. Getting ready to say that, yeah.
Yeah. Down from 5th to 8th, still in the top 10, still within shouting distance of a good position here. But these guys definitely throwing haymakers, like you said, Justin. But we're only about to start working lap number 40 here of 110. I would say it's a bit early for that, but a track like this where track position matters and momentum matters, Glenworth gets a good run of momentum there on Jacob Ulster. And is he going to clear him on the low side there? Ulster trying to come back. Whoa.
I think he will.
Ulster gets him.
He's got him for now, but they're still side by side. Glenworth and Oster as they come off at 3 and 4 here. Oster pulls away for now, but look behind him. Here comes Mitch David. I think he's finally got. I think he's caught himself down and he's got his momentum back, and he's just watching what's going on up in front of him.
Yep, and here comes Glendy again on that low side.
Battle for the lead.
It's going to be hard to pull off here. Ulster, bit slow up the corner there, and David, as you said, Justin, I think he's found his groove. And that groove right now, from a physical standpoint, is on the high line.
3rd lane. We did have a quite battle for the lead there. Kabuizi was making a run at Trost, got underneath him, but the high line is king. Also, Pinero gets a position. He's now up to 10th.
And this is the thing I'm talking about with regarding track position here. Adriano Pinero is one of those guys where you could put him in any sort of track position on a lot of circuits. And as Jacob Collins smacks the wall off at turn number 4, gathers it up for the moment. But as I was saying about Pinero, he's got the pace on most tracks where he can definitely fight for wins. But at a track like Iowa, you have to qualify as well as you race. And Pinero has definitely put himself in a rougher spot, starting 13th and only up to 9th as we're getting that bit closer to the halfway mark. We've only had one caution to deal with, but gaining track position at Iowa and holding it is a lot harder here than it has been at other circuits that we've been to so far this season.
Let's shout out Rafi Eckert, up 10 spots despite giving the netcode punt to Ponto there earlier in the race. He is now up to 12th on the backside of Dustin Cares.
Eckert.
Overheard on the radio, there was a little bit of a "Are you kidding me?" from Wes Wheatman against Tiago Benedetti as they came off of turn 4. Benedetti washed up just a little bit and he just gave Weidman a love tap on the front of the nose.
And now new figure up in 2nd place. Robert Malechka has actually gotten by Hamilton Akabuze and gotten himself up into P2 where he started, and now he's already taking the fight to Brandon Trost.
He's letting him know that he's there. But I would, like I said, I wouldn't count out Hamilton Akabuze as well as. Wait, look at this! Look at Tony Pizarro. He's going back to the high line. He's going to try. Oh well, he tried. He lost just a little bit of momentum.
Just a little bit there, but Tony Pizarro still sticking his nose in this fight here, and he's hung on to it pretty well. Hasn't gotten the nose on the inside of Akabuze. It's hard to do in any case. But up on that high line there, he always tries to get the momentum. It's usually not quite enough to get up alongside that number 3 machine as they head into turns 1 and 2, but kind of got a nose in this time. But again, as we said, this is one of those hard tracks to pass at.
Yeah.
But look who's but one guy I'm keeping an eye on just behind them. Look who's moved up in the 5th. It's our friend Clendy.
He's working it. He certainly is working it. And while we watch Clendy, just want to remind everybody that Scott Dixon currently holds the track record here, set in 2014 with a speed of 186.256. Guys, qualifying, these guys weren't that far off that number. The career wins leaders here at Iowa are Joseph Newgarden is the undisputed king of corn here. He has 6 wins. 6 wins in the, get this guys, 6 wins in the last 10 races and 4 of the last 5. All Joseph Newgarden. Ryan Hunter-Reay used to be the king of corn. He only has a moderate number of wins now, 3 compared to the 6 of Newgarden. Franchitti and Hinchcliffe each have 2. And we will see this later this year, see if these numbers improve any with any of these guys when NTT IndyCar Series does visit Iowa later this summer.
That'll be next month, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
And looking again at this battle for third here, Pizarro got a better run this time on Acapulco. Again, trips up in the middle of the corner. This is the stuff I'm talking about here, and hats off to Pizarro for keeping it in the fight as much as he has. For all this fighting he's been doing, it seems like his tires have not really been hurting him too terribly much. But so Pizarro still well and truly in
they're
this
gonna have
top
lap traffic
4
here
fight.
soon. They're going to have lap traffic here really soon.
Oh, yeah. Next ones they're going to encounter are Bruno Romanzini and Adriano Fraporti, who have been having rough nights so far.
I'm about to say, when's the last time we've seen Romanzini and Fraporti at the back end of the field? Other than they were in a wreck and that they were just kind of nursing the car. I don't think they've had any contact, and this track is not for everyone.
No, and the crazy thing is that Romanzini, as we were talking about before the broadcast, he actually won the top split SOF race last night here at Iowa.
Night and day, literally.
Big shift of fortune for sure. We still got just under halfway to go, starting lap number 59 of 110. And we're getting closer and closer to the point where green flag pit stops.
Oh, he had a good run. He just could not keep the foot in it.
Yeah, and as I was saying, we're getting closer to the point where green flag pit stops could well be on the cards for a lot of these drivers. And at a track like Iowa, I think nobody wants green flag pit stops in a lot of circumstances, especially when you complete your cycle and then somebody wrecks and brings out a yellow and you're 2 laps down.
Well, you guys you're going to have to look and remind us what the pit road speed limit is. It is, all I know, it's painfully slow.
That it is. Pit speed limit is 40 miles an hour.
That's ridiculous.
And bear in mind here, when they're going down the front straightaway, they're touching 190 on this track here. You're shaving off a lot of speed.
Somebody's on pit road.
Yep, our first of the...
Mitch David, and we have Benedetti, I think, also on pit road. Mitch David's on pit road. Shimizu coming off of pit road. That's a bit of an early stop because he topped off after that first caution. So maybe he's playing a long game here. But
Yellow's about to come out.
Uh-oh.
I think it might have been Franzoni or something.
Someone was spun around.
It was Trost hit the pit wall on pit entry.
Oh, no.
Trost hit the pit wall on pit entry. Clenworth tried to go into pit road, and he had to back out of it and avoid it.
All right, so
and
let's go back.
is out. He's had a connection failure.
All right, so
Hamilton Acapulco is out.
We had a couple of things going on here. So I think one was Rodrigo Franzoni had an issue. We are under caution. Second caution of the day. Multiple issues coming to pit road. I think Franzoni is going to have one on his next lap because he was on the apron. I think he was trying to come to pit road and it went to caution. He was on the apron and he had to stay out. They closed pit road on him. So I just want to make sure that he is all right. So we'll see here, I think, on the next lap. I'm going back 30 seconds in time. That's actually forever here. That's like 3 laps.
Yeah.
And,
close to it.
Yeah. And then we'll take a look at what happened to Trost. So now we're cautioned on the racetrack. We see Franzoni. He's coming down to pit road. The light's green. He couldn't quite get down. And he actually goes. That's going to be interesting because he's using the Legends track pit road area there. So I don't know if that's cutting the course or what, but that might be a caution. So let's go back or that might be a black flag for him. Let's go back and look at Trost.
I don't think it is. So Malechka, Pizarro, all the main leaders have come down on the pit road. Pinero, the biggest gainer by far.
Yeah, while we're watching Trost, he's made the call in. He's got Fraporti right in front of him. Fraporti smacks the wall off of 2, which doesn't help things. But he stays out of everyone's way. That's at least courteous of him on etiquette-wise. So here comes Trost. It should be pointed out, he is in the number 13 car. So here he comes off the banking, and he's hot. He's really hot at this point. And he locks them up and right into and then here comes Clindy. And Clindy now spins out as he tries to get back under power and get back on the racetrack. And that's probably where the caution came out because he was sideways in the racing line.
Yeah, probably was. And that was the moment when the caution came out there.
All right. So Bruno Romanzini has decided to stay out.
For the time being, yes. I'll see if he we'll see if he comes in here because we have a few lap cars that will get the waiver on the pace car with 1 lap to green here. So Romanzini.
Number of cars. Yeah, Shimizu's coming back down pit road. So we got Fraporti and Franzoni, who are directly in front of your leader, Romanzini. Romanzini pitted 52 laps ago. So we're going to see Fraporti and Franzoni. Those 2 guys will get the wave around. There they are. And they'll get back on the lead lap. Actually, they're on the lead lap now. They are in front of the leader, but they will get the wave around to join the tail end of the lead lap. And that they should get that here in the next lap or so. We wanted to check all the incidents. There was multiple incidents on that lap. The first one, I thought it was Franzoni, but he just missed pit road, had to go back around. And then Trost came and couldn't get woed down quick enough and hits the attenuator at the end of pit road. And then Glinsworth, with coming to pit road at the same time, reacts, spins out up into the racing line. And I think ultimately that is what brought us our caution. But there was a lot of stuff going on there all at once. And there's a wave around. No, forgot the brake bias. Yeah, you know what? You'd be surprised about the number of seasoned racers that forget that. That is one of the always when I always spot for a racer in IndyCar coming to a green flag pit stop. I always say, like a lap or 2 before, make sure your brake bias is set correctly. That is always on my mental checklist. Things happen so quick here sometimes that sometimes that stuff slips your mind, and we feel your pain. It's happened to everybody, Brandon. So. Hopefully you can get back in here and get another race in here to audit this result. But getting ready to go green, Romanzini with some really old tires against some people that have some really new tires are right behind him.
Oh, yeah. And to say nothing of the 2 lap cars in the way there. So behind him is Robert Malechka.
Yeah, there's 2 lap cars right behind him. That's David and Benedetti.
Yeah, and Malechka, Pizarro, Pinero, and Eckert. These guys have got fresh rubber underneath them, and they're going to have to pick off these lap cars with haste.
Well, they got good tires on themselves. I mean, David and Benedetti have 7-lap-old tires, and that means they just pitted right before the caution. That's why they're a lap down. Remember, we saw them coming to pit road early? That's what happens sometimes when you come to pit road early, is sometimes you get taken out by something like that. But now here is King Robert underneath Diego Benedetti, and that is not for position. That is just for track position.
Yep, just clears the lap car.
Oh, check out this battle, guys. Pinero and Rafi Eckert. There's some spicy Brazilians right there.
Oh, yeah, and Pinero clears Eckert for the moment, trying to run down Tony Pizarro as Kyle Clenworth.
Oh, purple for Clindy. Clindy takes that lap and goes purple with a 180.
What a lap there, but Kyle Clenworth fighting it out hard with Jacob Alster.
Well, let's reset the field. We got Roman Ziti is your leader, and right now he has lap traffic between himself and fresher tires of P2, Robert Molechka. Robert is right there just ahead of Tony Pizarro. Pizarro is in third. He's been in the top 4 all day long today. Pinero up 9 spots, is now entered the top 5. He is 4th. Rafi Eckert has joined him. Eckert up 17. Had a bit of a bump and run, a netcode aided bump and run earlier in the race, but he is in 5th spot nevertheless. Jacob Oster is 6th, and he's in a big-time battle with Clindy. Kyle Clenworth is in 7th. Mark Murphy is in 8th. Dustin Kerr has been in the top 10 all day today. Welcome to the top split once again to him. He's in 9th, and Trace Shadid has worked his way up into the top 10. Right behind him in a battle for position is Wes Weedman. Here's Mark Murphy taking evasive action down the inside, trying to get around Benedetti, and he clears him, and Cares is coming with.
These lap cars, definitely not something these guys want to deal with. You're about to say something, Justin?
Yeah, I was about to say, Cares is definitely going to try and get the run on the low line. Didn't work that time against Mark Murphy. He slots back in line, but he's going to try and build that momentum again as they come off of turn number 4.
That DNS
that
filter car,
still serving these guys pretty well.
Yeah, it seems to be working out real well. Don't forget, guys down low in turn 1 are hitting that bump right there where the tunnel that goes underneath the racetrack that services the infield. Weedman's hitting that right now. Oh, we are 3 wide now. We're 2 wide, 2 by 2 going down the front straight. And Jaden Munoz has joined this battle. He's there in that nice cobalt blue car.
That was Trey Shadid that threaded the needle as they went through 3 and 4 that last lap. He picked and timed it perfect to get by those 2 other cars.
Still holding on to 10th place right now is Trey Shadid. A lot of effort to stay in the same position just started in here, but some of these guys still having great fights all throughout the field there as Molechka now gets to the inside on the lap cars here. Mitch David and Bruno Mazzini. Oh, that was very close there for Molechka. And he clears both of them, trying to run down Mazzini.
Oh, yes. And now we got right in front of this battle for Robert is a Fraporti. That's going to be impacting him.
I wouldn't necessarily say impacting it because he just goes by with
it just goes right by him. But Fraporti just goes up high and gets out of the way. That's good on him. But he's going to pack up the guys behind him as they're all trying to use that high line. Rafi Eckert just decides to send it fully down low. Contact into the wall. Adriano Pinero. And that was netcode.
Contact for sure. And that brings out a yellow. Lap 82. And Adriano Pinero, one of the drivers that had a great run going and was going to be a threat if he was in a top spot, out of this race by just the sheer will of the iRacing gods.
I hate to say it.
Watch it. Here it is.
The cause of that wreck, a dear old friend of ours.
Yeah. Netcode, my old friend.
Netcode taketh away.
And and unfortunately, that's the second time that's happened to Eckert. So, mental notes when people are racing around Eckert now is that there's netcode abound when you race up against him. And I was talking with him the other day or a couple months back, and he was saying that he's been using like a VPN type service that helps improve the ping times. But I guess maybe it might be the other racers racing around him. I don't know, but I think everybody should keep an eye open and maybe give a little extra room to Rafi there. It seems like 2 netcode events. Once is okay, and twice it's no longer a coincidence. So we shall see as this race carries on as Clindy comes to pit road.
I will also say this. The netcode has gotten pretty bad lately.
Clindy on pit road for an extended stop. Not sure what is going on with Clindy. Did he get in some trouble? Can someone see if Clindy got in some trouble, maybe?
Let's see. But
I think he said he was talking about netcode with the wall.
Oh yeah, his front wing.
Let's have a look. And oh my, yeah, he actually got loose in 1 and 2, checking up a little bit, and he actually got it looks like he got the wall on my screen. Yep, that looked like just lost it and clipped the wall there, did Kyle Clemworth. Kept it going and didn't bring out a yellow, but that is also game over for another fast driver tonight.
Yeah.
Wow, that's weird.
Yeah, we're seeing a.
It's like he tried to brake and he braked to the wall, so it's like a weird. So the car went to the wall.
Yeah, it's some weird things going on here, but we are in yet another caution. Malechka is your leader, 85 of 110. Do want to thank everybody for joining us. If you're enjoying P1's coverage of the 4D, or actually not 4D anymore, just the IndyCar Oval Series Tuesday night top split on ERN, you respect the stream, please do us a solid. Make sure you support us by subscribing. And while you're at it, don't forget to smash like and click the bell so you don't miss out on future ERN iRacing broadcasts. And they have a lot of them, including starting in August, their Warriors for Peace IndyCar Series. And you too could be a part of that if you're interested. Just join the Discord, sign up. There is an entry fee. And they will be broadcasted on Thursday nights starting August 1st. And I will be one of the co-commentators in the booth for those. So if that's something that you think you'd like to give it a shot, and those are full-length races too. So if you like marathons rather than these sprints, you'll want to check out the Warriors for Peace IndyCar Series here with the ERL on ERN. Getting ready to go green here very soon.
I said he braked. No, he tried to pass Oster and he didn't realize. I think so. Maybe in my mind, he turned the steering wheel too violent, and maybe he lost the back. So that's what I said. I thought.
And also scoring update: Hamilton Akabuze DNF.
Yep, that was just the internet really giving him a rough time there. Hamilton Akabuze out. And this has really been a rough race for a lot of fast drivers, hasn't it?
Malechka, Pizarro, Eckert, Oster, Murphy are top 5. Kerr, Shadid, Weidman. Jaden Munoz, who's now in the top 10, is in 9th. And Ty Quilla, making his appearance in the top 10, is currently 10th.
And Jaden Munoz, one of the big movers as well, from 23rd to 9th. Very good run for him.
Great
Same
job.
with Wes Weidman and Raphael Eckert.
Yeah, 13 spots for Weidman, 14 spots for Munoz, 19 spots for Eckert. And here we go, coming to 88 at Iowa.
Green flag flies. Malechka leads. What can Pizarro and Eckert take, and what can they do? As he runs off into turn number 1, Pizarro following down on the low side, trying to catch up to the rear of the number 1. But everyone else starting to get into the fight for each other here as Jacob Oster looking behind, trying to get the run on Raphael Eckert. Not quite enough. There's a battle back there as well between Trey Shadid and Wes Weidman.
Yeah, Shadid gets around Weidman. Yep.
He gets around it for now.
For now.
Clears him up on that high line here as Shadid runs down low and gives the momentum to Wes Weidman as he has a look on the low side yet again. Can Shadid hold him up on that high line? Not quite enough, actually. Weidman gets back by him.
Yeah, but look at also behind Trey Shadid there. You got Jaden Munoz trying to find his way around. Trey Shadid, he's searching around for clean air. He's going, okay, this is not going to work here. Okay, this is going to work here. I can pull up the momentum, and then he gets cut off.
Yeah, exactly. And that's definitely one of those aero-dependent things there. You're playing a game of find the clean air while you're saving tires here. We're getting close to the point where that's going to be less relevant here with just under 20 laps to go at Iowa. So these guys are getting closer and closer to the point where it's say tire wear doesn't matter. We're going to go for whatever position we can here. And I think already Jaden Munoz is starting to get into that mindset right now, trying to hunt down Trey Shadig. Got a good bit of momentum there off of turn number 4. Not quite enough to get up alongside the number 5 machine.
Yeah, he's probably going. He's.
Oh, contact in the back, and that is Romanzini.
Bruno Romanzini hard into the hard contact there. Got hit, it looked like, by the 23 of Rodrigo Franzoni and sent around.
That is netcode once again, and I think Brian Campbell in Campbell's car. Campbell's car, even though it doesn't have this in the real Dale Coyne entry, this particular one has transformer technology built in, and his front nose snaps back into place. But let's take a look at this one more time. It's just a lot of netcode here again with the Brazilians.
Yeah, that high ping, it looks like, is really coming back to bite them as they
watch this run right here. Look at this run
server
that Franzoni has on the bottom. He's just, whoa, boom.
Oh, my goodness.
I'm going to quote.
Mitch David was in that. Yep. But he snaps back into place.
I'm about to use a line that was said back in the 1700s by a sea captain. Damn the torpedoes, I'm sending it.
Full speed ahead. Robert Farragut.
Yep.
Here we're watching from Brian Campbell's point of view. Let's get on Mitch Davids here. He's kind of sees it all happen in front of him. Shimizu's right in front of him as well. Now they're going to start seeing the contact. Now we're starting rolling out of it, braking. Where do I go? Where do I go? There's smoke in front of me. Where do I go? Where do I go? Oh! And snap back into place. All right, so another caution here caused by netcode. So guys, let's talk about the elephant in the room. Is it because of the low pings of those that are joining us from out of the continental United States, or is it just these cars are really fast on a very short track? That also doesn't help, or a little bit of both.
Yes.
Could well be. Yeah, I think the answer to that is yes. We're getting close to. We're definitely going to be. This is going to be a late race sprint, no doubt about that. Going to be.
Take a look at
getting
that purple
closer
lap.
And closer to the 10 laps to go mark.
Yeah,
Malechka, these guys are going to be.
Is purple lap at a 182.9, so he set that in the process of getting to the lead. We're getting ready to go green here in about another lap or so, and then we're going to get this bit of a late sprint here now. I don't think anyone has come to pit road yet to throw on an extra set of tires to try to do a bonsai run here. But I would imagine if there's one more caution, there will be takers to that. If there's any tires left in the pits.
And we also have an update.
Time.
And we also have an update. Bruno Romanzini, the damage was too much.
Yeah, it certainly looked like it, looking at the aftermath of that incident there. And a lot of drivers, like, this track is always a tough one for a lot of people, but a lot of good drivers have been biting the dust tonight at Iowa. And it's like, that definitely can be expected at times. Iowa does not forgive in so many regards.
Clindy's back on the racetrack, by the way. He's trying to make some laps here in the closing stages. He might make up a couple spots here, at least one right now.
Looks like at least one he'll gain, but Clendy salvaging whatever he possibly can here, and it looks like we're going to be having one more lap to go before we go green.
All right,
so it will. So this will be 12 to go at the green flag.
All right, so let's reset the field. Robert Malechka, your leader, and we do have a second here. I do want to show you, even though this is now week 3, it is not too early to start thinking about points, and here is the point situation, and it's going to really change tonight. Brandon Trost is your points leader coming into tonight. Kyle Clinsworth is second. These guys are going to probably suffer a little bit. Trey Shadid, he's in the top 10 right now, and he has the best chance to capitalize on this group, especially with the strength of field that we have for tonight. I don't think we've mentioned it, but the strength of field is a 46.68, so that is no slouch of strength of field. So there's going to be a lot of accelerators and points here that are going to help Trace in this points battle. Then we got Quilla and Romanzini rounding out your top 5. Campbell, Benedetti, Malechka, Wickwerder, and Labronte. Here we go.
Let's see this. It's going to be 12 laps to go at Iowa Speedway. Robert Malechka gets his foot down. Green flag flies.
Good start.
Pizarro, Eckert, Ulster, Murphy. What can they do?
That was a great start by Robert. I mean, Pizarro really needed to be up on his attenuator and stuck with him. Going to Cares on the backside of Murphy. Good start for him. He's looking to crack into the top 5.
Yeah, Dustin Cares, fantastic run so far for the 16, running up on the gearbox of Mark Murphy.
Munoz inside Aquila. 3 wide behind him, and Hody Estrada right there with him.
Oh, yeah, look at this.
Whoa.
Stephen Lee in the middle of all that as Estrada backs out.
Oh, no.
Everyone's starting to get themselves, trying to gain whatever momentum they can.
Purple, 182.9.
Wow. Only finding pace late on in the going here as we're coming to 9 to go. Malechka holding a fairly comfortable lead. 4/10 over Tony Pizarro, Rafael Eckert, Jacob Ulster.
Now this battle for 5th is going to be 3-way battle here soon. Weedman's now into the picture.
Wes Weedman definitely getting himself into this whole argument here. Cares and Murphy getting in and fighting it out right in front of him here as Weedman's been running a a bit of a quiet night so far, but a quietly effective one from 21st to 7th. One of those big gainers so far through all the chaos.
And if Wes, if you're watching this, I'm trying to reach out to you, man. And so answer your IMs.
Yeah. I mean, we want to talk to you, dude.
Yeah.
Meanwhile,
let's go back. Munoz and Quilla. Yeah, and then let's go back up here for 3rd.
Yeah, Ulster had a run there on Rafael Eckert for 3rd place. Not quite enough just yet. Coming to 5 to go.
He got in that dirty air right behind Eckert. He had to back out of it. He's going to try and rebuild that momentum as they go off into 1 and 2.
Yep, that's going to be a big ask, even with someone as talented as Ulster is. And Eckert now building up a bit more comfortable gap right now. And looking a little further back, Ty Quilla and Jaden Munoz starting to get a little bit chippy towards the end here, along with Trey Shadid, who will probably get involved in that in a few laps if they catch him.
Yeah, just let everyone know before we finish up, I have dropped in invites to the ERN Discord server. They are in chat. Click on those, and if you're among the top 3, you'll want to go and find the waiting room there, and we will bring you in when it's your turn to talk. If we have anyone that wants to join us for an interview, 3 to go. Robert Malechka getting ready to get his 2nd win of the season. In a new paint job.
No, car on the wall. This is
Brian Campbell.
Munoz.
It's Jaden Munoz.
Yes.
Jaden Munoz, who was in the top 10 towards the end of this race, and it all falls away.
He lost a lot in the car.
Clipped the apron.
There we go. We'll see. I'm trying to find him.
What do we see?
He lost the cars alone. This weird. It's too
He
low
lost himself.
Yeah. Oh, and it's right in front of Ty. Oh, Ty just threads the needle. And unfortunately, Jaden looking at a top 10. Day is done. And this race is done.
That was a snap oversteer on Jaden Munoz as he was on the inside of Trey Shadid and a hard hit into the safer barrier on the front stretch.
And here we are for the second win of the season, but the first and this fancy hyper slide paint job. Robert Maleska getting the win here at Iowa. Pizarro second, Eckert third, Oster fourth, Murphy fifth, Kerr sixth, Weidman seventh, Shadid eighth, Quilla ninth, and Antonio Estrada very quietly, top 10. Nice job, Antonio.
I think so. Robert got one, but I think so. Ecker is a big win today. So 19 spot today.
That is huge.
Also,
yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah, and also two incidents around the track. So good for him.
And Malechka with the painted 91 on his car, but the number one in the race. You know what? I gotta ask why he's 91. And the only other driver I think that did well in the 91 was Buddy Lazier. So maybe he's a Buddy fan. I don't know. Let's get the final standings in here. Robert Malechka led 34 laps, gets the win. Tony Pizarro up at the front all day today, finishes second. Rafi Eckert up 19. Yeah, he's your biggest gainer and winner overall, but the most cars that he's passed. Finishes third for that bottom step of the podium. Jacob Oster, another solid finish for the Worm Man. He finishes fourth. Murph in fifth. Kerr sixth. Weidman seventh. Shadid eighth. Quilla ninth. And Antonio Estrada is 10th. Moving on to the next page, Stephen Lee improved 6 spots to 11th. Franzoni 12th. Jacob Collins 13th. Jade Munoz just on the verge of a top 10 there. Unfortunately loses it coming out of top 4 to turn 4. Gets a 14th though for a top 15 for him. Brian Campbell 15th. For Porty 16th. Teo Benedetti 17th. Shimizu 18th. Mitch David 19th. Clindy 20th on a rough day for him. Romanzini 21st. Pinero 22nd. Akabuizi 23rd. Trost 24th. Ponto 25th, and Sousa, well, we didn't see what happened to him, but most everyone, at least from 21st on down, had some type of contact and made a rough night even rougher. And I'm not sure who we're going to have for...
I see Oster and Malechka sitting up in the waiting room.
All right, well, we might bring in Oster just so we got extra time.
Great, we can get Tony Pizarro in here, or Rafael Eckert for that matter.
Might want to check and see if no one is visiting the other Discord, just to be safe.
Let's have a look. Looks like it is empty.
All right. Well, let's get everything set up here for the interviews. And there we go. And I don't think we're going to see Rafi. But we will bring in Robert with the win here. Actually, let's bring up Jacob since there's no one in third spot there. We'll talk to Jacob for a little bit. Hey, Jacob, we're going to surprise you bringing in here since Rafi didn't check in. There might be a little bit of a language barrier there, but we're glad to have you here nevertheless. Talk about your race. It was pretty hectic there in the mid-pack of the top 10 back from like 6th to 15th. It was... Everybody was kind of stuck and there was no progress being made, and a lot of, I guess, aero wash was just ruining a lot of people's days.
I really don't know if it was exactly aero wash. I think it was just a combination of the track grip reduction and the wind, but personally I wasn't too much of a fan of it. I really didn't adapt that well, unfortunately, but it's whatever. You know, I'm just glad to actually finish Tuesday night race this season because I wrecked out of the both of them through no real fault on my own the last 2 weeks, so I can finally get back to my rightful place in second in the championship, so I look forward to that.
That's one thing we did not talk about was the wind. The wind was pretty gusty out there. Last time I saw it was like out of the northwest at 17. I'm sure it changed around a couple times. How did that alter your driving style out there?
It just depended on how much you really want to roll into the corners. It was pretty bad off of 4 for a majority of the race, which really didn't help matter, especially whenever you were in traffic. But mainly it was just trying to figure out what was the correct tools to run for a given situation, and I had some help from Robin Hamilton to really figure that one out in the middle of the race, but I just really didn't nail it until a little bit to go, but passing so hard that you just couldn't really do much.
All right, well, any shout-outs, friends, family, sponsors you want to say hi to while we have you here? Kind of a unexpected podium interview for finishing 4th.
Just everybody on Team I5G, we do a lot of work. We do a lot of things, and we got a lot of stuff going on, and it's about to get real busy. But thanks to everyone else in the community for putting on a good show, getting our SOFs up. I look forward to the rest of the season. Hopefully, we'll have a better weather for us.
You got it. Congrats on 4th and getting that finish. It has been a rough for the last couple of weeks for you. I will admit that. But we will see you. Meme race next week, Talladega. We'll see you there.
Yes, it's actually going to be fun.
You got it. We'll see you there, man. Take care.
Right, thank you, guys.
And let's bring up down Robert. And we got King Robert III here. And not necessarily your realm or domain here in Iowa versus where you've been dubbed the king of, but maybe the king of corn now here at Iowa. Win here today and a new paint job and the hyperslide entry. So go ahead and talk about that and talk about your race.
Yeah, with with VCO and an IndyCar Challenge coming up, I know as a power slide we were bit worried if we could challenge you in the likes of Coanda and Apex and Redline and things like that. So we thought, if any of the other teams wanted to work together for VCO and IndyCar Challenge, that it'd be great to, at least get a few representatives in the community that could be competitive in it. And Team Tent was down. So, we worked the deal out and we've been working together for about 3 weeks now, and it's been going great on the open side and the fixed side. So really looking forward to the next few months with them. But for the race, Iowa I'm usually pretty good at, and because it's really just to be patient and take your time and be there in the last 20 laps of the long run, right? So it was kind of just riding around Tross, kind of just saving as much tires as I could until he pit. And right when I started pushing, he messed up and caused a yellow. So, it kind of made it pretty easy for me. Just riding around, saving right front for the last, 40, 50 laps or so it was. So, pretty straightforward win for me. And, I'll take it.
Well, how about next week? We got the meme race coming up, Talladega. You and I have talked about that privately, where we don't necessarily like seeing them on the schedule, but when they do pop up, they get a lot of views, at least from our point of view. Yeah. You as a driver and involved here in the championship, and then, of course, wanting to get I rating and safety rating out of it. I mean, how do you look at those particular? I mean, I guess you kind of look at them kind of much like the real World Cup drivers do. It's like, well, I just got to get there and get through it.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I really enjoy it. I mean, I've always been kind of a pack race master at times, like say with like Mission and Fontana, when it's like, I guess, slightly spread out compared to Talladega. But I think running, Talladega once or twice a season, or once or twice a year, not a season. That'd be really good.
Wow, yeah.
But once or twice a year is really good for us. It brings a ton of new faces, especially I think I had paired up with when NASCAR's at Chicago Street Course. Which was my goal. So have big numbers, have as many people as possible possibly try out the car in a very I guess noob friendly setting. And I will say with Talladega, if you get the right group that races respectfully but hard, not going below the apron or no kind of bump drafting, it's really fun. I mean, we've had some great finishes, some great 4, 5, even 6 wide finishes. So I'm really looking forward to the broadcast race next week. We'll be putting on a show, and should be fun.
Shout outs, friends, family, sponsors. Anyone want to say hi to before we let you go?
Well, hopefully that was a good race for you guys on the first race in URN network.
I think it was.
Yeah, hopefully
I'd say it was pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah, and a little bit caution friendly, but
It's all right.
yeah, that worked well with Jacob and Hamilton once again. It's unfortunate what happened to Hamilton. I think he disconnected, but his car was still on track, so to dodge him, I got a 4X somehow, and I stopped. Yeah, I think that's about it. So yeah.
All right. Well, congratulations. And then next week, we'll, I don't know how much practice you need to do at Talladega, but I'm sure you'll be prepared.
Yeah.
We'll see you here in a week for the double. We're going to do the double header, and we'll see you at least on one of the races next week at Talladega.
Yeah, just a bunch of pit entry and pit exit practice is really all you need for this. So,
That's it. Exactly. Congrats. We'll see you in a week.
Yep, thank you, boys. Take care.
All right, guys, final thoughts. LGN, you were locked in a lot of action today. Final thoughts of what you thought was going on out there, and what you think of today's race?
Was very, very fun. I checked on the back. I saw a lot of people getting hit with somebody else. So a very frustrated track. When I race here, it's very frustrating, especially to see all the people getting faster than you. So it's was a good race today. So it's really I enjoy a lot to see people close. Yeah, very nice races today. So I really wrote a note about what is the key, but we don't see we don't see that. We don't see the green flag speed entry. So just only a Brandon Trost hit.
Yeah.
Something I expected, because when you enter into the pit, it's like a boom, the wall is over there. So anyways, and you talking about Valesca next week, Taladera doesn't make sense, but it is what it is. So yeah, it doesn't make sense. So thinking about it, all these people in the real life around Taladera, the car is gonna get destroyed because it's
I don't even want to know what a real life IndyCar. Oh, well, okay. There's a part of me that wants to know what a real life IndyCar race would be like there in Talladega, but there's a realist in me that says no, they really don't belong there.
Right. At least they try. I think so, or no?
They had Talladega was on the schedule in the late 70s, early 80s, back part of the original kart USAC split. And
thinking about it,
and they had it on the schedule, and actually AJ Foyt turned a world closed course speed record there in his car that I think he won at Indy that season. And they were going to run a race there, but it ended up getting canceled. So I think is a good thing. But open wheelers have raced there, but they've raced on the road course. There is a bit of a road course in Enfield Roval there. Then so if you go search open wheel racing at Talladega, you'll actually see pictures of like Formula Ford type cars racing at Talladega.
Well, let's see what's happened. It's gonna be a lot of accident, and maybe I think it's gonna be for the finish for sure. Maybe, I hope. In no general.
Either that or complete chaos.
Yeah, for sure.
One of the two.
Justin, here, give me your thoughts on tonight here, and as we go to a track where I expect we're going to see a lot of ringers next week.
Now for the Iowa side tonight, it's kind of expected what we saw tonight. A few cautions here and there, better than what happened a few weeks ago here in the Tin Top Series. But tire management, I'm surprised that there were guys that actually did manage their tires well. They managed to figure out where to put their car, especially in dirty air, coming off of the corners. Majority of the time, you wouldn't see that because you want to let your Thunderfoot do your talking instead of letting your brain do the talking. Now, jumping ahead to the meme race next week, as someone that has run there and won there in the NIS mixed at Talladega, oh boy, get ready for a. I'll say it this one time: get ready for a shit show because it's going to be, as I said, it's going to be a meme. We're going to see 3, 4.
This is how we got. I gave Pinero his nickname, 4 Wide Pinero, because he took it 4 wide at Talladega. It caused a wreck, but he took it 4 wide nevertheless. So that's kind of, expect the 4 wide for sure at Talladega.
Oh, yeah.
But with the doubleheader broadcast, it's going to be. We're probably going to see some ringers. I guarantee you. We're probably going to see. There's probably going to be a few that I know we're probably going to make an appearance. Who knows? Stevie, maybe our old buddy from the NIS days, the king of memes himself, Mr. Jordan Words, bottom split night in America broadcaster.
That wouldn't shock me because we've seen Jordan Worth show up when usually there's a race that's kind of off the wall idea, and usually shenaniganry can occur, and we definitely expect that at Talladega. But as for tonight, it was definitely a struggle for a lot of these guys. I could tell. Iowa Speedway is definitely one of the more difficult tracks that you will encounter in these Indy cars on the oval side of things. And we just saw the reasons why. The track can bite you, and even then, like, racing each other can be really hard. And sometimes you just have plain rotten luck with netcode. There's a lot of things that can go wrong here, but when it works out right, it works out fantastically. Talladega, though, I'd say it's a bit more up in the air than Iowa Speedway was. In some cases, literally.
All right, guys. Well, that's it for tonight. Once again, your podium from Iowa. Robert Malechka III finishes first. Tony Mazzara with his best finish here on the top split broadcast that we've done. Finishes second. And Rafi Eckert, the former champion of the VOR DW12 series, gets up on the bottom step of the podium here with a great run from deep in the field. That is your podium. Join us again next week for round 4 of the IndyCar Oval Series Tuesday night top split on ERN as we head to Talladega for Meme Race Doubleheader. I wish I had an echo in my voice when I said that. Meme Race Doubleheader. Coverage, as always, begins around 8:15 p.m. Eastern Time. Again, that's 8:15 p.m. Eastern. It'll be right here on the Elite Racing Network channel and we'll be here for the remainder of the seasons. For the remainder of Season 3, 2024, we are right here on ERN, nowhere else. In between each race, we're going to have a mini podcast. We're just going to talk about all things IndyCar. We'll talk about the new TV deal. We'll talk about the hybrids coming up. We'll talk about how bad the coverage of NBC was last weekend at Laguna Seca. We'll talk about it. And chat will be open. If you want to put your questions in the chat or be part of the discussion, feel free to go right ahead. So we'll just have a little mini podcast in between. And then we'll broadcast a 10:15 race after that. And then we'll call it a night. So doubleheader weekend coming up here next week for Talladega. Hey, we love bringing these races to you, but they're not easy. It requires time and money to produce. Because of your generosity and donations, we've been able to bring you IndyCar Oval action nearly sponsor-free. If you share our passion for the sport of IndyCar and enjoyed our coverage of the IndyCar Oval Series Tuesday night top split, please take time to visit our GoFundMe page. The link is in the description, and donate to our 2024 broadcast fund. We realize times are tough, so any contribution would be greatly appreciated. And we thank you for watching and making the jump with us to ERN and making us part of your Tuesday evenings each and every week. Now, as you know, the YouTube algorithm game is not easy, so please help support P1s and ERN with a weekly grind. Leave a comment below and let us know about tonight's race. And if you enjoyed tonight's coverage, support us by smashing like in the video. If you're new, click subscribe, and while you gotta hit the bell for weekly reminders so I'll miss out on more of not race versus, but ERN's other iRacing programming, including the Elite Racing League's Warrior for Peace IndyCar Series will kick off their 9th season on Thursday, August 1st. To learn more about the Elite Racing League and how to sign up for their upcoming IndyCar season, join their Discord. The invite is in the description. Track cams for this race are provided by Whiplash SimCams. Get the most out of your iRacing experience with Whiplash SimCams. To learn more about Whiplash, like them on Facebook or follow them on Twitter. Again, links are in the description. So for Stephen Larkamp, Justin Petschauer, LGN, everyone here at P1 and the ERN, I'm Gary Gotzo saying to all good night and thanks for watching. Until our men and women serving in the military and as first responders, Godspeed, God bless, and come home safe. Catch us again right here next week for a very special Talladega doubleheader. The next race of the IndyCar Oval Series Tuesday night top split. Good night, everybody.